Alright, so we'll start with jab. This move comes out on frame 3, which is obviously pretty fast for a jab. It's not like one of the fastest jabs, but it's also like decently above average. It's a fast move. It comes out on frame 3, minus 11 on shield, and is generally going to be pretty good as 1, it's fast, 2, you have great burst range combined with your speed, or as a consequence of your speed, that allows you to use it as a burst option like this. Gentleman at higher percents is actually a pretty solid kill move. It has a pretty good knockback on it. And then on top of that, you also have Rapid Jab as a mix-up, which has a pretty decent hitbox, and in addition to that, has pretty high base knockback. Like Gentleman, for instance, can set up kills like from there. And then Rapid Jab won't get anywhere close as it doesn't have good knockback scaling, but in general, it's a good get off me option. And if you want like a more lower commitment way to approach someone instead of like committing to like dash attack, Raptor Boost, or grab or whatever, you can just do run up jab and get the job done. My favorite way of using this move in neutral is like this. Don't do one jab and don't hold jab either. Because if you hold jab, what you risk is just sitting there like an idiot and then your opponent just whip punishing you because you're just sitting there and holding a move. So I have a little trick for making it to where you can both have the low commitment nature of doing 1 or 2 jabs, but combine it with the option select of being able to gentleman anyway. And it's if you press A twice in a row to double jab and then just hold the button, if the jab connects, it'll automatically confirm into gentleman even with only the second button press. And then if you don't, you just get the second jab and you can immediately move again afterwards. So like, look, you can do double jab, double jab, double jab, and then, oh look, it connects. The third jab will come out automatically as long as you're holding A for just that little thing. In addition to that, we have, we're going next to one of my favorite poke moves. This thing right here, F-tilt. So F-tilt comes out on frame 7, which is surprisingly fast for a move with this range. It has good poking range. It's minus 14 to 13 on shield depending on what hitbox you get. And you can also angle it, which can make it easier to catch certain kinds of moves. Like you can do upward angled as an anti-air. This if you're just covering general bases. And then if you're against like characters that pancake, you can use downward angle to catch them on the ground. If you do it around center stage, you can do things like this. If they tech, it'll hit them with the regular hit. If they tech away, they still get hit by it. And if they tech behind you, they get hit by the back hit. Because of its range and relative safety, it's one of Falcon's better poking tools. So it's a good way of keeping characters out. You can use it for if you kind of want to throw out a lower commitment option, but you want something a little more range than say jab. F-tilt is my other favorite option when you're less confident of a particular position that your opponent's going to be, but you kind of just want to cover some space anyway, and F-tilt is great for that. Down tilt is frame 11. It's about minus 13 on shield, and unlike the previous 2 moves, this one doesn't have that much utility. It's kind of just a decently ranged poke option with good knockback. So for the most part, you're really only going to be using this at higher percents. If you read like someone coming too high off the stage so that you can down tilt them and like push them far off stage. Or you just want a poke option that has a little more oomph to it compared to say F-tilt. Next up is up tilt. This move is frame 14, and although it can't hit on the ledge like it used to in Smash 4, one thing you can do with it that's pretty neat is if you can use it as an anti-air, which can set up into combos. At the ledge, you can even do things like down air into up tilt as a way of killing as well. It's pretty solid. And you can also use it as a tech chase move at lower percents. Like so, or even at lower percents, you can actually do something like this, and it's true. Or, that actually works on a surprisingly large amount of characters and is a pretty good way of racking up damage. We have dash attack, which is frame 7. This has become one of my favorite moves recently. It's just a good burst option that has good frame advantage on it. You can catch anything that's not like an air dodge with up airs, so it kind of forces them to air dodge against it. Which of course you can just read that, which is pretty good. It's a combo move, it's a good burst option. You can use the weak hit on purpose like this to true combo into aerials. That can then do pretty good damage from there. After that we have forward smash, which I'm gonna be honest is not one of Falcon's better moves. This is probably one of his worst moves overall, in fact. It's slower than a lot of other moves he has that have better kill power. But there are situations where you can use it to catch things that you can't with others, so it's still very much worth using, but it's definitely one of his worst moves overall. Up smash. Oh boy. This move does it all, ladies and gentlemen. So with up smash, it comes out on frame 22, which is not great, but in every other way, this move is amazing. It's got this enormous hitbox that will scoop from absurd ranges. It true combos into aerials from low to mid percents. It is a kill move. If you get both hits of it, it's only like -9 on shield or something crazy like that. It kills, it combos. It does a ton of damage. It combos into aerials. It's relatively safe on shield. It has pretty low end lag, so that a lot of times it's hard to whiff punish. It's got great range. This move is amazing, just long story short. This move is bonkers. Use it often. Now, here comes our second best smash attack, which is still a really good move. It's just not crazy like up smash is. This one is down smash, which comes out on frame 19. And the first hit is -19 on shield, but the second hit is -7. So it's actually pretty safe on shield if you hit with that one. This one is mostly just a general way of covering a lot of options, especially out of tech chase situations. Or you can even use it like off the respawn platform. Like one of my favorite uses for down smash is when I lose a stock, just immediately running towards my opponent and down smashing. If they stand in place, it'll hit them. If they try to run away, it'll hit them. If they try to roll behind me, it'll hit them. It covers a lot of options. Otherwise, you can use it in tech situations to just cover a lot of options. You can use it as a pressure mix-up to catch rolls. This move is just great for catching just a lot of movement in general. Or you can even use it as a landing mix-up with like back hit down smash on shield, which is pretty safe, which you can then use to pressure into other things. Long story short, move's pretty good. Alright, from there we get to our aerials. So we get neutral air, which comes out on frame 7 and is -4 on shield. Which means that basically it's pretty safe on shield. This move is one of our best moves for free. You can use the first hit of it and only the first hit of it if you want to combo into a lot of things. Like you can do nair into neutral airs as a combo tool. You can do nair into back airs. You can do nair one into knee. You can do it into up airs. You can do it into dash attack, Raptor Boost. Whatever your heart desires. At mid percents, you can use it to set up bigger combos, such as this. You can use it to set up IDJ combos at mid percents. You can use it at higher percents to just kill. And you can use the second hit for a lot of stuff too. Like at lower percents, you can use the second hit to true combo into dash attack, into dash grab, into Raptor Boost. Hell, even into Falcon Kick sometimes. Also, you can do things like this, where you can true combo off of, you can use the second hit of nair as a kill move. You can use that as a pretty solid kill move in situations where you don't want to risk going for a read with knee or down air, and you're far enough off stage to where they won't be able to live the nair anyway. Next up, we've got the knee, which is a frame 14 move, minus 11 on shield with strong knee, and minus 15 with weak knee. This move is pretty good. It's one of our best kill moves. Absolutely for free. It has a decent hitbox on it. You can combo into it with down air. You can combo into it with nair 1. You can combo into it with even like up airs situationally. That's really all you use it for, but the one thing it does extremely well. That's regarding the strong knee hitbox anyway. Weak knee is a Swiss Army knife of a move. At higher percents off stage, you can do things like weak knee into neutral air as an edgeguard option, like so. A lot of the time it won't true combo into neutral air, but they won't be able to use an immediate recovery move, which means you'll be able to string it into nair anyway. You can use weak knee to catch very vertically centric recoveries like Mario, Marth Lucina, and a bunch of other characters. So characters who are just far enough off stage to where just a little extra nudge will get the job done, weak knee is your best friend. Next up, we find ourselves coming to back air. This is also one of our best moves. This move has good range. Comes out on frame 10. You can combo into this move for kills off of up airs. You can use it as a great spacing tool that at lower percents can lead into dash grabs or dash attack. You can use it as a kill move to just throw out. That's pretty safe. Like, you can kind of just spam this move sometimes. If you're thinking that someone's gonna try and run in on you, you can just use it as a get off me tool. This move auto cancels. And then in addition to that, you also have all the extra utility that comes with weak back air. You can do things like weak back air into Raptor Boost at a pretty wide variety of percents. Like, that was genuinely just a true combo. You can do things like, if you're not confident of knee spacing off of down air, you can do things like this to just secure stock at higher percents very reliably. Next up, we come to another great aerial of Falcon, up air. This one comes out on frame 7 and is minus 6 on shield, which is pretty solid. It's not like amazingly safe on shield. This move is one of our best combo moves. You can combo it into itself. If you have someone in disadvantage where basically they're not in neutral, you can use it to just cover landings, because look how big this hitbox is. It covers a lot of space. You can just throw it out pretty safely. It combos into itself. It combos into other moves. And it has low enough end lag to where if you miss with it, because they say air dodge through it or whatever, you can often still whiff punish where they land with air dodge with things like dash attack, with Raptor Boost, grab. Also at lower to high percents, or mid to high percents, you can actually combo it into knee like Smash 4 on taller characters. Although keep in mind that the timing is very picky. Next up, we come to our final aerial, which is down air. This one is obviously one of the better spikes in the game for killing. This is a combo tool at mid percents for things like this. You can use it at lower to mid percents to combo into grab. You can use it at higher percents to do things like that. Combo it into back air, up B. You can combo it into up smash, which is pretty reliable and is a pretty solid way of killing especially lighter characters. It's also just a generally good way of calling out certain lower to the ground grounded options, as you can jump over them and then punish with down air. You've also got one other property of this move, the sour spot, which is it's a bit jank. It's kind of like the knee, except it sends them to either side. The hitbox is kind of hard to get on purpose. This is, in a lot of ways, an oops, I win button at times. Like so. Next up, we come to our special moves. So the main ones we're going to be using is... not this one. I'm gonna say it right now. I think this is probably the worst neutral special in the entire game. Realistically, your only competitively viable use for this is to punish shield breaks, or if you footstool Squirtle during quick draw animation, but this move sucks. Hey, at least it's cool, right? So I still wouldn't replace it even if I had the option. But it is pretty bad, let's be real. Although, that just makes it all the more satisfying if you do somehow get it on someone. Next up, we've got... oh baby. Raptor Boost. This move is amazing. Sure, people still fall out of it sometimes, but even when they do, it's usually not that easy to get whiff punished for it. So, here's how it works. When Falcon does this, he just keeps moving forward until the end of the dive. However, if at some point before he reaches the end of that dive, Falcon comes into contact with a hurt box, then the move actually activates, coming out, I believe, 5 to 6 frames later. Startup is 6 upon reaching target. So what this means is that part right there where he stops and does the wind-up animation, that's when the armor comes out. Because this move has armor specifically there, if you read that someone's going to be aggressively mashing buttons in your face, you can kind of just call them out with Raptor Boost to armor through the mashing and just start your own stuff out of it. You can use this to catch landings incredibly well to start your own combos. You can use it to call out movement, and it does all of it very well. It true combos into stuff at basically every percent imaginable. At percents where it doesn't combo, extremely high percents, it sets up into juggles that can kill. And even at extremely high percents, you can still get kills with it. Look at that shit. At more reasonable percents, you can use it to set up IDJ combos. At kill percents, you can do Raptor Boost into knee. And it might not register as a true combo on the combo registry most of the time, but it's so close to frame perfect that most characters, if they're in that situation, will literally have 0 options to get out of it, because even though it's technically not a true combo, their fastest option won't come out fast enough to get them out of it. This move is good. And on top of that, it's got another mode as well, which is the aerial mode. If you have someone pretty far off stage, you can use it as a spike, and it's actually one of the strongest spikes in the game. Can kill a decent amount of characters literally at 0 because they'll be knocked far down enough to where they can't recover. Although, if you don't land it, the very specific sweet spot hitbox, it'll send them at that diagonal upwards angle instead, which isn't really that useful. There's also one last thing you can do with this move that's pretty interesting. That is, fun fact, the only thing Falcon has that's positive on block. It's not the easiest thing to land because it's literally frame perfect, but may I present? Just a second. I will get this to work. Check out them apples. That is literally +1 on block. To where if Game & Watch tries to up B out of shield and you try to jab, your jab will come out first. Just think about that for a second. Next up, we're coming to up B. This move is, on average, going to be one of our strongest out of shield options as it comes out on frame 14. Which is a bit slow for an out of shield option, mind you, but this thing has a massive hitbox that can just eat up a lot of moves people might try to throw after landing on your shield with something. if they try to run away from you, you can often just catch them with it. In addition to that, it has great power, great damage, and you can act out of it pretty quickly, which leads you to be able to chase people out of that as well. Also, although this is pretty difficult to execute, you have that right there. That, my friends, is Tokyo Drift. Fun fact, you actually have a greater amount of range on your up B if you use it slightly in the air. It allows you to drift further. So because of that, there are a decent amount of options that you can cover from extremely far away out of shield. You can use it in offstage sequences to cover air dodges. Like if you read that they're going to do this. If you read that they're not going to do anything, you can use it as a kill move. And it's also just a solid recovery option. Last but not least is Falcon Kick. This comes out on frame 13, which makes it a solid burst option. It's got great power on the first hitbox, more range than it appears vertically, and because it goes pretty far, you can use it to call out movement options from a pretty good distance. Although keep in mind, it's minus 51 on shield. It has good kill power though. The weak hitbox can be used as a decent way of catching stuff from further away. And you also have the aerial hitbox, which you can use as a landing mix-up, or if you're feeling particularly bold, you can use it as a suicide kill option. Alright, I think that's the rundown of all of his regular moves. Now we come to the last thing of Falcon's to go over, his grabs. His grab comes out at frame 6. Dash grab, however, is frame 9, so keep that in mind, guys. Basically, it's a completely regular dash grab and a completely regular standing grab. Nothing special about it. It's basically just standard. Pivot grab is frame 10 and has better range than standing or dash grab, but it is a frame slower, so keep that in mind. Our pummel is only 1.3 damage, so it's not amazing, but decent. However, our grab game is one of the better grab games in the game. We have down throw, which is our most reliable combo throw. You can use it to combo into neutral airs. You can use it to combo into up airs, back airs. If they DI up and in, you can sometimes combo it into knee. You can combo it into dash attack. You can combo it into F tilt if they DI badly. And you can use it to set up up air chains at higher percents. It's just great. Although keep in mind, a lot of our super guaranteed stuff is going to stop working with down throw around 40 to 50 on most characters. And then you're going to have to start thinking about other options instead, like using it for positioning or using one of Falcon's other throws instead. We have up throw, which has okay kill power and can kill at like 150, 160 on a lot of characters if we have a lot of rage. But usually that's only if we have a lot of rage. It's not really great for that. Although at lower percents, they will usually have so few frames available that they have no choice but to air dodge. So in a lot of situations, you can actually cover air dodge with a short hop up air off of up throw. It'll either 1, hit them, or 2, they have to air dodge. And then if they air dodge, you can cover it with something else, making up throw kind of an unorthodox combo throw of sorts, but it is a solid mix-up option for down throw. And against some characters that we don't have good down throw follow-ups on, you want to use up throw mostly instead. Next up, we have F throw. At lower percents, you can use this to set up tech chases, which is, you know, a solid thing to have in general. You can use it for positioning, and if you have a ton of rage and you're by the end of the stage, it can be a kill option as well at pretty high percents. Not like a great kill throw, but it's an option, you know? Back throw actually has the least utility out of all of Falcon's grabs, but it's also our best kill throw by a pretty decent margin. it'll usually kill 20 to 30% earlier than any of our other grabs can. Next up, we're gonna go over a lot of different kinds of Falcon tech and just useful things that you can do specifically with it, okay? So first things first, we're gonna go over one of the more important things with Falcon, and it's IDJ stuff. So IDJ is very simple conceptually. It's jumping, and then jumping again within the first few frames of the original jump. If you try and do a full hop immediate rising aerial, for instance, the game's buffer system will just translate that into a short hop aerial instead, which is just, you know, part of the buffer system. Which makes IDJ stuff all the more important, making sure that you can basically have your full hop aerials of sort able to come out instantly, which is really useful for combos with a lot of characters. IDJ basically just gives us another avenue of extending combo strings further, and true comboing into knee at a lot of percents where we wouldn't be able to otherwise. Learn it. Another thing that's really useful for Falcon is attack canceling. So attack canceling is something that you can look up on YouTube, and there are already guides for it. But this is what it looks like in motion right here. Is conceptually, attack canceling aerials are very simply a way of buffering certain kinds of aerials so that they'll come out literally frame perfectly. And this is especially useful for Falcon, since Falcon's combo ability is amazing. However, a lot of his combos are very close to, or occasionally frame perfect. So because of this, making sure you can squeeze every little bit of extra speed into everything you do becomes that much more important. You can use it with Raptor Boost to combo into stuff. And you can even use it as a neutral tool if you just want a really fast aerial. I personally use them all the time. It's a pretty solid way of just getting frame perfect aerials. You can also use it with stuff like that, so that you can true combo tipman up air into other things. Something else that's pretty useful for Falcon that I would like a lot of you guys to learn if you haven't already is crouch ledge slip. By using crouch ledge slip, it allows you to edge guard at a lot of angles from a position that you just wouldn't be able to otherwise. And this also means that it's technically possible to literally use knee and down air as 2-frame options on certain kinds of recoveries. Like, fun fact, you can literally, on reaction mind you, 2-frame Palutena's up B with the knee. Allow me to demonstrate. Like so. It's reliable. On reaction. You just wait for the teleport animation, and bam, they just die. You can also just use it on recoveries that don't have hitboxes with things like this. Like, you know when Bowser Jr. tries to come to the ledge? Cover it with that. One last thing you can do with crouch ledge slip that's useful is you can use it for ledge trumping like that. Alright, next up, we're going to be going on recovery, what that's going to look like. So a lot of the time when you're recovering, what you want to keep in mind with Falcon is that you have not exactly amazing recovery options, but the combination of Raptor Boost, having wall jumps available, up B, having a lot of different drift mix-ups, double jump, and then also being able to re-grab people with up B, you actually have enough variety in your recovery options to where if you're able to predict how an opponent is going to try and edge guard you, 99% of the time, you can get around it if you predict what they're going to do and survive. It's one of the reasons why I'm infamously difficult to edge guard, even though a lot of people stereotypically go, oh, it's Falcon, he has a bad recovery, just kill him, right? I don't think that's entirely true. It's all about just being able to look at what your opponent is doing, try to figure out what they're going to do, and then just going around it. Like, you don't have to just grab up B immediately like this, for instance. You could slightly delay and then grab up B. You could do a lot of delay and then do it. You could recover high and then drift into it. You could hold down on the control stick to not grab the ledge on purpose, just to grab it a little bit later. Like, look at that. There, I held down on the control stick while drifting in, so that I'll grab the ledge at a different timing on purpose to mess up certain kinds of things. Or, if you read their timing on an aerial, you can punish them and kill them with Raptor Boost. Do you think that they're going to just try and come at you with higher options? Okay, throw out an aerial on purpose, just so that you can use Falcon's incredible fastball speed to slip past them, and then grab ledge. And then we haven't even gotten to wall jumps yet. On walled stages, this opens up even more mix-up options for you. Sure, if your opponent reads your recovery options, you're still very exploitable off stage, but you have a ton of mix-ups. Next up, edge guarding. So a lot of the ways you're going to edge guard certain characters is going to vary a lot. There's characters with amazing recoveries, which if you can't really edge guard them effectively, like say Jigglypuff, for the most part, you kind of just want to ledge trap them. And that you're going to do with a combination of down tilt, 2-frame down airs, and just non-committal back airs off stage like this. Like if you do something like this, and then double jump back on stage, you're not really risking anything by doing that. And then because of that, you're able to just go back to ledge trapping if it doesn't work, which it probably won't. For the most part, doing stuff like that, it's not necessarily about you hitting your opponent so much as it is representing to your opponent that they will get hit if they go there, making them go elsewhere, and then just watching how they move around it so that you can then punish that in future situations. Oh, you think they're going to go high? Call it out with double jump down air and kill them early. Think they're going to go low? You can go for 2-frame down airs. Or one of my favorite options I've been doing a lot recently is footstooling. Footstool is an option that comes out on frame 1. And because of how incredibly fast Falcon falls, there's a pretty decent variety of distances where you can do that and it's literally unreactable. Making it to where we basically have an extra dimension for edge guarding that they either won't be able to react to, or it'll force them to do other things that we can then punish. Like that. I already mentioned weak knee, but I can't state enough how absurdly godlike this move is against edge guarding characters with weaker recoveries. Or maybe not weaker, but just not amazing recoveries. Suddenly, you can go out there with weak knee, and he won't really be able to do much about it. Same with a lot of other characters. You'll weak knee, nudge them just a bit further off stage, and that's enough to where they just won't be able to get back on stage. And they die. It's very good. Obviously, back air is amazing. But one of our most underrated edge guarding tools is this bad boy right here. It's the reverse up B. Because you can go out there with a lot of your aerials like this, you can then up B afterwards as a last-ditch effort if all of your other stuff missed, to catch a lot of characters as they're coming into the stage and use it to secure stocks. I don't want to just make this too long, so I think I'm probably going to call it from here and instead just have other videos covering other things.